everyone, welcome to AJ's Kitchen. I'm AJ, Chef AJ, love to cook, it's my passion, and welcome to another Sunday dinner. Today I'm really excited, guys. We have company from Miami and they requested my favorite dishes, oxtail and curry goat. We're gonna cook it with passion. We're gonna show you guys how I prepare it, how I marinate, how I season, do's and don'ts for me, how I'm preparing it, cooking it, and then we're gonna have people sitting at the table. Guys, everything is possible with you. Please give me some feedback, subscribe to the channel. When you do so, it makes us stronger. And if you have any questions, need to know any information on recipes, let me know. I'll be happy to reply, respond. I'm excited. Let's get to it. So come into the kitchen. I want to show you guys the number one thing that I do as far as prepping the meat, which is really important to clean the meat. So I do things a little different and I use vinegar and lime. So right here, I'm gonna add a little bit of vinegar, and this would be for the curry goat. So this is goat in some water and I'm adding some vinegar. I have my oxtail in there. I'm adding some vinegar in my oxtail as well. But I also put some lime juice and I just dropped the lime in it just to make sure that my meat is really clean. So I have the goat right here, oxtail right here. Get your hands into it. Don't be afraid. You're in the kitchen. Mix it all up. I'm just gonna let that soak for about 5 minutes and rinse it out. Welcome, and I can't wait to move forward and show you guys all the seasoning, how I'm gonna marinate the meat, and we'll take it from there. Alright guys, so this is the goat, and I'm just gonna go over here and pour all the water out. Alright, add some more water to rinse it out. Okay, drain the water. Drain, and that's it. I'm going to do the same thing with the oxtail. Drain the water out. Rinse it out. Drain the water. And that's it. Now, one thing that's really important with the oxtail, people are different. A lot of people like the fat with the oxtail, which is good. But I like to trim as much fat as possible because when it cooks, it produces a lot of grease and oil. So what I do is I scan through the oxtail and the pieces that have extra fat, just remove it. Just cut it out of the way. Okay, this one is really hard. Cut it out. Take another piece that has extra fat, like this one here. Cut it out. Just to remove as much fat as possible from the oxtail. This one here. Take all the extra pieces of fat out. And that's it. Now we're ready for marinating. And this part is the fun part. We're actually gonna season, marinate the food. So again, I have the goat right here. And I have the oxtail right here. When I get to finalize the goat, I will wear my gloves. I like to use my hands, but if anybody uses curry does stain. So when it gets to the curry part, I will be using my gloves. But I really like to get my hands dirty when I'm marinating. Really a lot of different seasoning. This is the oxtail seasoning right here. I love this brand. I buy it in Miami. Every chance I get to Miami, I get some. Here it's called Easy Spice. I really love this one. Definitely need some pimiento if you're gonna make some oxtail. Now, I want the garlic and the pimiento to really get into the food. So here, I'm gonna go get some garlic, add some pimiento, and I'm gonna go smash this right here, and I'm gonna add it to the oxtail and the goat. So some people like to use the grinder. I'm old school. I'm using this with my grandma's, so I'm really proud to use it. Rest her soul, she left us a couple of years ago. But I'm gonna grind this garlic and the pimiento, and we're gonna add it to the food. This is the garlic that I smashed with some pimiento. So we're gonna put it all over right here. This is really good. You can never have enough. All of that is in there. And again, I like to use my hands until I use the curry. I could go go for it. Just want to make sure that everything mixes well. Mix everything in. Same thing with the oxtail. Nice and mixed. Again, I'm from Haiti and I'm actually making the oxtail today the Jamaican way because there's actually a way to make it the Haitian way versus the Jamaican way. And the person that I learned from, a lot of people like to use browning. I just use a little touch of browning. However, my secret ingredient is mushroom soy sauce. So I use both, but I mostly use the mushroom soy sauce. So what I'm gonna do right now is really start with the powder that I'm using. So I use some seasoned salt. So you just sprinkle some on. I use that on both these dishes. Seasoned salt. Combo seasoning, I use the Ultra Sweetest brand, but everybody uses different brands. I like this one. Generous portion. And again, this is just the spices that I use. People get creative and use different things. Sprinkle all over. I like to use some onion powder. Even though I have fresh garlic, add some garlic powder. Never have enough garlic. And this is chicken bouillon. There's different brands. This is the brand that I like to use. There you go. Alright guys, I'm going to be cutting some scallions, some thyme, some tomatoes, and some onions. So you want to always make sure that your knife is nice and ready and it's sharp. If it's really dull, you always, have a knife. It's a trick my grandma showed me and it works miracles. For the oxtail, I will be using onions, I will be using tomatoes, but for the curry goat, no tomatoes, but we will have the oxtail, the scallion, and the thyme. So I'm going to start with the onions and just chop it up. Again, it's going to cook, so it doesn't have to be cut any kind of way. You just want to chop it up and add it. So that's going to be for my oxtail. That's for the oxtail. I'm going to do the same thing for the onion for the curry goat. Again, you don't have to cut it in any particular order. You just need some onions. It's going to cook down. Tomatoes for the oxtail. Depending on how much oxtail you do. Now, I will say to you guys, one thing about AJ's Kitchen, I can share recipes and I welcome anyone that wants to have an idea. However, I don't do any measuring. You will see that I'm a free-spirited. I just go and I don't measure. Even when it comes to rice, I'll give you guys little tips, but I really don't do any measuring. Thyme, which is really one of the main ingredients. I don't like to leave it whole because then when people are eating, they're struggling to remove it, so I like to cut it up. But you do want to use a lot of thyme. Fresh thyme is always the best. And the fresher it is, as you can see, the easier it is to cut it up. When it's a little older, it's hard to cut it, but the fresher it is, as you can see, it's easy to cut. Main ingredient, scallion. People call it green onions. Everything was washed. All I'm doing right now is cutting the part that needs to be thrown away and chopping it up to make it really nice and smooth. And I'm doing one batch for the oxtail and one batch for the curry goat. So that would be for my oxtail. And this is the second batch. Right here. Again, the size doesn't matter. You just cut it up. And you want to use the most of it. The tip that needs to be thrown out, you could throw it out. But there you go. This is for the curry goat. These are really hot. They're called Scotch bonnet pepper. Spanish people call it habanero peppers. They're really hot. You don't want to use too much, but you still want to just use enough for flavoring. So I just use one. I could use a little bit more because I'm seasoning two different dishes. But again, you don't want to touch the inside of it because it's really hot and it will irritate your eyes, your skin, and everything. I'm done with chopping the ingredients, so I'm going to again get in and mix everything in. Everything is mixed in. So again, this is my curry goat. This is my oxtail. I'm gonna mix everything in. All right, everything is mixed in. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm actually actually going to put some gloves on now because I'm going to be adding some curry powder to the curry goat, and I'm going to be using some liquids for my oxtail. So, gloves on. Alright guys, I have a few final touches. So I have my gloves on because part of it is going to be curry, which is going to be the last part. But I want to add my oxtail seasoning to my oxtail. Get generous. So I have my oxtail seasoning right here. Mix this up. Good amount of oxtail seasoning. Now, a little bit of browning. Just a little bit. And again, what I use is soy mushroom sauce. And then you just have to gauge. So I'm gonna give it a good mix until you get that good dark color that you need. So I can see here that I need a little bit more browning, a little bit more. Alright. A lot of people use ketchup. I will wait till the end to see what kind of flavor I have to determine if I need to add a little bit of ketchup. So now my secret ingredient, which I'm gonna wash my hands real quick to get some of that liquid on. Part of being a great chef and knowing how to cook is getting recipes or tricks or trades that other people are using. So a friend of mine that's a very good chef said to me to add some passion fruit juice in the oxtail, and I love it. So you add just a little bit to let it marinate, and I love it. So try it at home and let me know what you think, but you won't be sorry because it's amazing. So that was my final touch here for my oxtail. And you really want to let your meat marinate for, some people like to do it overnight, which is not always obvious, but if you can't do it overnight, I would say let it sit at least for an hour or so that the flavor and the seasoning can really seep in. So that is it for my oxtail. The final touch for the goat right here is going to be my curry powder. Again, curry stains, so you want to make sure you use some gloves because it'll stay in your fingernails. Be careful with your clothing because curry powder does stain. So I'm adding the curry powder to my goat. Again, make sure you keep it away from your clothing or anything. Use some gloves. I'm going to give it a good mix. Again, same thing for the curry goat. You want to make sure you let it sit overnight. If you don't have time, at least 2 to 3 hours of marinating so that the seasoning, the flavors could all be locked in. And that is it for the curry goat. We're going to let it sit and be ready for cooking. Alright guys, same thing with the oxtail. I've completed the curry goat. I'm going to do the same thing with the oxtail. However, there is no need to add any oil for the oxtail. Oxtail is a fatty meat. It generates a lot of oil on its own. As a matter of fact, in about 20 minutes, I'll have to check to see if I need to skim some extra fat to throw out. But right now I'm going to do the same thing. So the pot is already hot. I use a pressure cooker as well. That again is going to cut the cooking time in half. So just going to go ahead and drop the oxtail in. Some people like to brown the oxtail first. I don't do that. I don't find the need to do it. It still has that same great color at the end of it. So everybody does things differently, but I'm just gonna go ahead and add the oxtail. And you're gonna drop all the juice that you have it. That's gonna be the best part. All the passion fruit juice, the browning, the mushroom soy sauce, all the seasoning. You put everything in it. Done here. Shake it up, and I'm just gonna close it up and check on it in another 15-20 minutes. Just making sure my oxtail doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. So I'm gonna open it up just to see and mix it up a little bit. There you go. Hold the pot. There you go. Hey guys, this is about 10-15 minutes in. Just wanted to check to see what my curry goat was looking like. It looks like it's almost there. Probably need another 5-10 minutes. When it's cooked, it's going to literally be falling off the bone. But I wanted to check to see if I need to add more water, so I added a little bit of more water. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to put it back on the stove. Alright guys, we're ready to make the rice, the infamous Haitian rice. In Haiti, we make the best rice. I say so. AJ says so. Anybody who says different, tell them to come and see me. So I'm going to break it down for you guys and show you what I use to make my rice. So I use jasmine rice. Any jasmine rice will do, any brand, but it's jasmine rice. So what I'm going to do is take some fresh garlic. I have some shallot right here. Cut it up. Some onions. Here, chop it up however you want to. Again, my grandma, I call it my smasher, but my grandmas love her, so I'm just gonna mince all of this right here. If you want to be a little bit more modern and use a grinder, you could use, so people use a blender. It's just easy for me. I just use it. Haitian people call it a pilon. So to all my Haitians out there, sac passe, I'm using the pilon. Zotown. Doesn't have to be thin. You just want to be able to give it a good texture. There you have it. So let's bring it to the other side. As you can see, I have my little area right here. Everything prepped. So you're going to take some olive oil. You're going to go ahead and use everything that the garlic, the salad, everything's going to go in here. My pot was nice and hot. I'm going to mix everything up. Once it turns a little brownish right here like this, gonna add the peas. My peas are already steamed right here, and you separate the water that you boiled the peas. So I'm just gonna add the peas right here. There you go. What you want to do is you're gonna season the peas. So I use paprika. Again, guys, I don't measure. You just want to go ahead and the taste as you go around. So I put some paprika. Complete seasoning. Seasoned salt, I use Larry's, no MSG. And I'm going to use a little bit of garlic powder. Right there. We call this seasoning your peas. So you let it fry a little bit. So I add a little bit of olive oil right here. The liquid that you have from steaming the peas is what you're going to use. So I'm adding it right there. Some people use coconut milk. I like cream of coconut right here. And I like to taste the coconut flavor. So I'm going to put a pretty big chunk. It also depends on how much you're cooking. Put this much in and I'm going to let it simmer and come to a boil right here. I'm going to taste for flavor to make sure there's enough seasoning. Really good. So one of the things is, when I talk about making rice and I say we make the best rice, our rice is very shelly. It's not really heavy, pasty, or has to, it's all about the water ratio. So what I'm going to do, guys, is show you a trick that I use for making rice. And I always make sure that there's not enough, too much water. I don't measure, but I'll be able to show you guys in the pot, guys, what I do and how I make it work. I'm going to grab my rice right here, jasmine rice. Again, you could use any rice you want as long as it's jasmine rice. I will show you guys what I mean by the ratio. I don't use a measuring cup, so I'm going to show you guys how I gauge my rice. So here, give it a good stir. And right now, the spoon has to be able to sit on top of it. And you see how the spoon is sinking? That's too much water. So I'm going to add a little bit more rice. That's perfect. So when I sit the spoon right here, I can still see my spoon. So right this way. That should be right. My grandma used to use a plastic cover or a little paper bag, a plastic bag. I don't do that. I use just a paper towel. I'm going to go ahead and wet it a little bit. There goes my paper towel right here. And what I do, and the rice is still cooking, as you can see, I'm going to give it a good mix. The rice is nice and shelly. Good stir. I'm going to drop this in the towel. And to make sure that you seal it, that there's nothing, it's really sealed and the heat can stay in. I drop it to a low level. I put it on level number 2. I'm gonna cover it. We will have some rice in 15 minutes. And there you have it, Haitian rice, rice and peas. Hey guys, that's it. I'm done cooking. I made some oxtail, some curry goat, some rice and peas, Haitian style. Can't wait. I have some guests over. They're here for Sunday dinner, and I can't wait to hear their feedback, what they have to say. But guys, please subscribe to the channel. I'm listening to what you guys are saying, and you guys wanted to see more of the cooking. And next week, I promise, or the next time I'm doing a taping, it will be authentic Haitian food. Maybe some griot, maybe some legumes. If there's something that you guys want to see me cook, please let me know. Again, hit the subscribe button. Give us some feedback. Tell us if you like it, if you don't like it. I had fun. Hope you had fun. See you next time.
Food was amazing. Oxtail, awesome. Gotta go back for a second plate.
Super good. I've never had goat before, and this curry goat is it's great.
The food is so good. I mean, the curry goat is good. The oxtail, the lamb, the rice. I'm in heaven.
Food is great. Favorite? Oxtail.
I can't talk right now. I mean, I think it's too good.
I'm enjoying every drop of this food right now. Awesome job, Alex. Good.
The food is delicious. AJ, you did it again, like you do it all the time. My favorite is definitely the rice. The cream of coconut is amazing.
The food is over. The food is prepared. I want to introduce my daughter Kayla. Say hi.
Hi.
My niece Talia.
Hi.
And we're ready to eat. Look forward to seeing you guys again. Bye.